I'm just trying to understand. Riley gets to wear a hat on the podcast, and you get to wear a hat on the podcast. But when I wear a hat on the podcast, suddenly it becomes a problem.
It's not a problem that you're wearing a hat. The problem is that you look like Marky Mark from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Please look in this mirror right now.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I see Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I see no problem with that.
You know who can pull off Marky Mark? Marky Mark.
Marky Mark. Yeah, he's kind of who I was basing this off of. I mean, we're a big Mark Wahlberg fan on this podcast. Other guys, you ever seen it? The Departed,
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. Riley loves that movie.
Transformers Last Night.
And Age of Extinction. Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
One
Daddy's
and
Home
two.
2.
Instant Family's pretty good.
I'm just saying, if we're picking role models,
Didn't
it
he,
works.
Kill someone?
Huh?
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, or
No.
something like that.
Ferris Bueller.
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick killed someone.
I'm pretty
Mark
sure
Wahlberg opened up a burger restaurant in Cincinnati and a car dealership.
I think there's something about Mark Wahlberg's past, but I don't know. Don't quote me.
We're going to quote you.
You're accusing
You just
him of murder.
accused him of murder.
I'm saying he can wear a hat in a cool way.
He can pull off a funky beat.
What if we do, like, kind of like one of those?
No. Please stop. Please.
The light in my eyes grows dim.
Really? You guys are just going to continue to say hurtful things, and we're just going to lose the hat.
Welcome back to the Good Chill Hunting Podcast. How do you like them apples? Riley, it's been a bit of a shallow week of movie watching for us, but what did you watch?
Since watching The Final Reckoning, I'm gonna go back to the Mission Impossible and watch two of my favorites. So I watched Rogue Nation last week, and then I watched Mission Impossible Fallout. That's a 5-star movie.
The best Mission Impossible?
It's between that or Rogue Nation as 1A, 1B for me, as they can really flip flop. I think both are just peak Mission Impossible, peak action. I don't know what else to say. It's probably my favorite Henry Cavill performance. I really like him and Solomon Lane. I like the mask reveals. I like the action. The Halo jump is really good. I wish they didn't really use the CGI in that scene, but still a fun scene.
That's like the stunt of the movie.
I
I
would
feel like
say
every
that.
movie has one stunt.
What was the CGI?
The storm.
You wanted Tom Cruise to go through an actual
No,
storm?
no.
He could do it if he wanted to. He's at terminal velocity. He's deployed his parachute.
Yeah, why is he pulling the parachute? Oh, no. I would say that's the stunt, and also he climbs up the rope when the helicopter's leaving with the payload at the very end.
Mm.
And then Henry Cavill was like,
Yeah. Why do you have to make this so effing complicated?
that reveal was really cool the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
They did the old switcheroo.
Alec Baldwin's really good in these movies, I think.
He killed someone. Ooh. Tender subject.
It's a fun movie, and Elsa Faust, what a woman. So, good movie. 5 out of 5.
What about her do you like?
I think she's
Her eyes.
her hair, the way the sun bounces off her hair, gorgeous locks.
Her scent. Come again?
The way she smells when she sleeps.
Oh.
No. I just think she's such a good written female character. So, and
we
I'm a fan.
support strongly written female characters
Yes.
here on the Good Chill Hunting
100%.
podcast.
Poorly written female characters? Don't support them.
Ooh.
A good written female character is Jackie Brown, which is the next movie I watched.
Nice. Great.
Wow, that was you practiced that?
No, it just
You
came
in
to
the
me.
mirror this morning. A good female character is Jackie Brown.
So I watched. I haven't seen all Quentin Tarantino's movies, and we have a good friend of the podcast, Josh, who loves Quentin Tarantino, and he gave this 5 stars recently. So I thought I'll give Jackie Brown a shot, and I gave it 4 stars. I could see this going to a 4.5. I really don't have any problems with the movie. I think Jackie Brown and Max Cherry, I am a big fan of. I think Max Cherry,
Which is who?
Robert Forster, who I think R.I.P. He was in Breaking Bad, in a small role. He's really good. I really liked Max Cherry. And then Samuel Jackson as the antagonist, pretty good.
We just talked about him last week with Kingsman.
Yeah.
Next week, Josiah's got to watch Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
See the villain in that.
Yeah.
A person who people love, like they would say he's an S tier actor, is Robert De Niro. He's in this movie.
Oh, is he? I didn't know he did Tarantino.
I feel like he's the same note the whole movie until like the very end. So, like, he's just all right to me. Yeah.
I haven't seen too many of his movies, but like
I've never been.
Silver Linings Playbook, he got an Oscar nomination for his role. It was all right. IMO.
Taxi Driver, I just think he's just all right. IMO.
Meet the Parents. IMO.
Pretty hilarious.
And yeah, Chris Tucker makes a small appearance in this movie too. So right before Rush Hour, yeah, big Rush Hour. So
he had his big big shot in Hollywood, and then he kind of fell off.
Yeah. But then
he was in Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh man, it all comes to full circle. I think Jackie Brown's probably, people would say, his most forgotten movie in the bunch. Like people,
I would say that or Death Proof.
Yeah, people don't really talk about those two movies. So I think it just shows just how good of a director Quentin Tarantino is. Just with a movie like this, it's still really good. Like, go watch it and tell me what you think of it.
Is Death Proof the only movie that you have yet to watch?
Yep.
Then
that's my only one.
Really? I don't really have any desire.
You've seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yep.
We watched that in college.
Oh, I didn't know you
Remember
did
that?
it.
Yeah.
Back in 2015.
Which I've really enjoyed most of his movies. I would like to revisit The Hateful Eight.
Extended edition?
Yeah. And then, that's an undertaking. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's Josh's favorite.
I want to rewatch
favorite
that
movie.
So
I bet you that'll go up.
Because in the theater, I wasn't a big fan, but I feel like
I think I gave it 2.5 stars.
I think I gave it 3.5.
Because it was like, it was boring, kind of.
I'm sure
Brad Pitt got an Oscar nod for that.
So did Leo.
Which I thought was crazy because I didn't think Brad Pitt was that exceptional in.
No, Brad Pitt won.
He won. That's right.
Yeah, he won.
Which it was like.
Remember what else he was in 2019?
Don't tell me. Ad Astra.
Yeah.
That was an unimpressive movie.
No, that was a boring movie.
Yeah.
Because I think we came off of like Interstellar, and you had seen Moon at that point.
The Martian.
The Martian, yeah. Like, let's get our science fiction movies.
Well, yeah.
Brad Pitt's going to be in a science fiction movie?
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones?
Great on paper. Anyway.
Those are the two movies I watched. So, 4 stars. Jackie Brown. Go watch it.
I watched just one movie, a rewatch for me. I watched The Other Guys.
Aim for the bushes.
Yeah. Aim for the bushes.
Do a despot.
Did someone call 911? Holy shoot. That's like Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I wasn't. No, my mom listens to this podcast. I wouldn't. I think last time. So this is my third time watching it since getting a Letterboxd account. I rated it, I think, 4 stars, and then 4.5, and then now I went back down to 4. I feel like comedies are the most likely to go down in score after watching them too many times.
Yeah.
Like, I still like the movie and will continue to rewatch it, but you don't laugh as hard the 4th or 5th time around.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie kind of transcends being funny as a movie, and it becomes funny as a running joke.
Yeah, because The Other Guys was the name of Riley and my first podcast. Josiah was there for a couple episodes. Look it up sometime. It's probably still on YouTube.
Well, I agree with The Other Guys specifically, but I'm just saying, just like in general, movies that we've seen enough times where they're not as funny when you watch it, but they're still funny to quote and to reference.
Yeah,
and it's not about the movie itself anymore. It's just about the handful of moments from the movie that kind of come up more in daily conversation or what have you.
I feel like we say, Dance at Highsmith, free drinks for life.
Yeah.
Or free hot dogs for life.
No free drinks though.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or female body inspector. Get out of town.
LRB, Little River Band.
I think Michael Keaton's really good in that movie.
Yeah. And then what's the Bob? He's like, you guys are coming to my wife's picnic. My waistline's gonna be furious.
Makes it mean devil eggs.
Mean devil eggs. Waistline's gonna be. Yeah. Other guys is funny.
It is funny.
True.
Are you dirty, Mike and the boys?
Wait a minute. Are you Dirty Mike and the boys? Oh, we got to get out of here.
I watched one movie as well. I watched Paddington 2. Got around to watching the second one and gave it 4.5 stars.
The hype is.
It
real.
is, in fact, better than the first one, and it certainly could be a 5-star movie on a rewatch. Like it could be a 5-star movie now, but it's one that's like I would want to feel confident about giving it 5 stars. But everything that people said about it is true. It's just very feel good. It's very heartwarming. It's very like hope giving in a sense, but it's also very simple. The scale of the movie is pretty contained. It's not trying to achieve anything huge. It's just about, if anything, it's about being kind and hopeful in the daily moments, the little moments. And it's funny. It's cute. It's good writing.
I don't really remember a whole lot from it, so I really want to rewatch it sometime.
Yeah.
Does it make you appreciate the first Paddington anymore? Like, do you feel like you appreciate Paddington as a character more, and like therefore you might like the first film more because of it?
No. I mean, I feel like the first one does everything that it can do as like introducing all the characters and introducing the style. So I don't think like the first one was bad was bad period or like bad because XYZ. I think it's just it kind of only reached so far, and then the second movie where all the characters are developed, you get to build on them, you get to explore some things that are only briefly referenced in the first movie. I just think this is just like the logical like step up from the first movie.
And then the third one, they go to Peru.
And they recast Sally Hawkins.
I just don't think she's in it.
No, they recast her. They
Yeah, they
recast her as
recast
Emily Mortimer.
Yeah.
Different British
She's
lady.
like, sorry, Paddington, Peru. I got to film this unnerving movie called Bring Her Back.
And we were just talking about this before we started recording. It's like Sally Hawkins, I mean, I've not seen her in anything else. I know Shape of Water is, it's not like a horror movie, but it's like a weird movie.
She falls in love with a fish guy.
But in this, like Paddington, just everything about Paddington is just so like tender and so pure and so
The complete opposite of what we hear for Bring Her Back.
it's just like it's just like almost like I would not want to watch. It's almost like I'm glad I watched the Dark Knight trilogy before watching American Psycho, because Christian Bale is a phenomenal actor, but he just is so night and day different in American Psycho, which came out first. So it's like if I had seen that before seeing the Dark Knight trilogy, not that Bruce Wayne is like such a deep like performance, but I feel like it would be harder to look at him without seeing like the Patrick Bateman just psychoticness. Mm-hmm. So Sally Hawkins, I almost would prefer to live not seeing. Well, Bring Her Back doesn't sound like my cup of tea in the first place, but Paddington 2, great movie.
I haven't heard much about Bring Her Back.
I hear it's one of the most like you'll like Requiem for the Dream. You'll feel like drain ill. I hear there's a lot of children in peril, so I feel like you do not want to see that, especially since you're not a father.
Children in peril.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Children trapped in a well.
I don't know.
It's got pretty good reviews. 3.8 or 3.8 or so on Letterboxd right now.
So I've heard good things, but it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I've got thick skin, so.
Paddington 2, 4.5 stars. Probably we'll see Paddington in Peru at some point, but this is Paddington 2 is like the best reviewed.
The peak.
Yeah.
Let's run it back. What's a highlight from your week? Let's just spread some positivity. Riley's like, well, I saw Bring Her Back, and that was a really, really great movie. It got me thinking.
I think about mortality.
I would say highlight was probably I survived my first year of school. So I got a job at a school this year as a therapist, and Friday was my last day, and I survived the day. And with that, you have a lot of reflection of something like ending before it begins again. So a lot of reflection and just grateful for growing this year and the people in my life to support me. So I've laughed a lot today, and that's been very grateful. So I'm
1 whole year is that's a milestone.
yeah. So learned a lot. It's adulting's not the easiest thing. So
Waking up at 6 a.m. Woof. That's adulting.
My back hurts. My knees hurt.
I have bowel incontinence. Adulting.
That's not a normal part of getting old. What's up?
Yeah, what?
No, that's
yeah,
good.
that's cool.
That's super exciting.
Yep.
For me, I had a big week in that I started a new job. It's still doing like bedside nursing, but it's at a different hospital, one that's much closer to the house, one that's maybe the pacing of it is a little more my speed. And so I had my first week this past week, and I liked it a fair amount. So I was pretty
And
satisfied.
it was good.
And-
Like a
and-
kimba noodle soup. Good.
Yeah, it was. I'm just basically feel content in my move. You starting a new job, there's always a bunch of like what ifs. What if I don't like my coworkers as much? What if management's not great? What if XYZ? And I got some solace that I think things are going to be just fine in this new role.
You are just getting a lot of time back, just with like the commute and like not even working weekends. I guess you'll be
Still working weekends, but
theoretically working the same amount of days, but less weekends.
yeah, but the commute is, I'm getting about an hour back every day that I would work, that I would be driving, which I hate driving to work. So I'm glad to not have to do that. So I could be home
Theoretically, you could walk to work
if I really wanted
not
to.
that you would,
But I'll be home in time to like put my son to bed, and
Yeah.
so that's important. So yeah, that's a big thing for me, and I am happy about it.
mine is also work related. So in counseling, maybe in less so than in other like medical settings or like time limited relationships where you would work like say with like a physical therapist, you don't always get to wrap up a relationship with a client. Like it just is more often the case where clients will stop scheduling appointments, they'll forget, or you don't get to bring the relationship to a close. Or you call it terminating counseling, and that is not the norm. But I had a client who I've been seeing for a while, and he's moving, so it was like a logical time to end our counseling relationship. But it was just very nice. Like he had just seen so much progress, and our last session was just like a time to really reflect on all the work that he had done and that we had worked through, and it was just a very special moment that you don't always get to talk about, like just explicitly talk about that sort of progress, and you do that sort of reflection and have that space where you can really say like, these are the things I see in you. This is how I've seen you grow. And to even have that reciprocated, like him to share his appreciation and everything. And so it was just cool. It was just like a very like, that is one of the privileges of the job. You don't get it. You don't get it with the majority of clients, but when you do get it, it's just like, oh, this is a very sacred space. Yeah. So I was very grateful for that. I got a little emotional myself. He was getting a little emotional, and so I was just like,
Don't cry.
Yeah. So
Somebody
it was
cutting onions in here.
So it was really good.
That's
Well, I'm glad we all had something to be grateful for this week,
I'm more grateful for mine than Riley was for his.
and that's very obvious.
Yeah. So
Riley was grateful to have a good year, but he wasn't that grateful.
yeah. So it's not a competition, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm grateful for all my students.
Riley's got me beat there in the numbers.
We're gonna do a couple rounds of blind ranking.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Blind ranking was a
Yippee.
big thing, I feel like 2 years ago. So we might have missed the boat on this, but who cares? It's basically I'm going to give Riley a prompt, and there's going to be 9 entries. Riley, then Josiah, then Riley, Josiah. There's going to be 9 entries.
Like Riley and I are working off the same 9?
No, Riley will do a list, and then I'll do a different list with you. Basically, he's going to have to I'm going to give him the prompt and then each entry, and he's going to have to rank each entry without knowing the next entry, and kind of have to figure out where things will go based on what he thinks might come next. And Riley's a pretty smart cookie, so I think he's going to do pretty well with this. It's not a win or lose thing, but he's going to be upset with himself.
I have a new high. Noah called me smart.
You're wicked smart.
That's from Good Will Hunting.
A couple weeks ago when we did, or was that just last week? We did Scape Quote, and you had the Indiana Jones quote on your shirt.
And Noah and I are both like,
yeah, we're scratching our brains. Like, what was it?
it ain't about the years, honey, but the mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just like,
Yeah.
and for the life of me, I cannot figure this quote out. Okay, so your first blind ranking, Riley John Hughes, Willem Dafoe movies.
Oh.
It's Willem. Yeah, there you go.
Will I Am
Will.i.am
Dafoe.
movies.
From
Will.i.am movies. The first one, X-Men Origins.
How Much Mother, Marshall says Willem Dafoe sounds like a ribbit, and I forget what the next animal is like Willem Dafoe.
That's Willem Dafoe's been acting for a long time.
Did I say rabbit? I meant frog. I don't know if I said rabbit.
You said ribbit.
Never mind.
You're good. We knew what you meant. The first movie, Spider-Man.
Number 4.
All right.
No. You can't do this to me.
Oh,
Spider-Man is one of the best origin story movies out there.
Number 4. I guess I'm a little surprised on that. Because it's going to get way worse from here. Number 2, Antichrist.
I knew that was,
9.
Okay.
I am for Christ on this pod.
That is, that's on the soul draining movie list. That is up there. Who's the director on that?
Lars von Trier.
Yeah.
That is
All he does is make sad movies.
The third entry, Finding Nemo.
Oh, man.
I feel like we've had this podcast for almost a year and we have never once talked about Finding Nemo.
No.
It's a good movie.
I mean, there's a lot of movies we haven't talked about, but I just feel like that's a big one.
5.
We've never
5.
never talked about it.
Finding Nemo. Okay. The next one is The Lighthouse.
I should have put Spider-Man higher.
What is this like? You're not fond of me lobster?
Or I want steak.
That's Robert Pattinson.
Oh. I would say 6.
What?
6.
Yep.
Crazy. I thought that was top 3. Well,
I frankly I did as well.
that's what I
don't. What did you give that movie?
I think 3.5.
Okay. Well, then I'm surprised with your ranking.
I think it might go up in rewatch.
Here's the next one, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
You're totally leaving your top 3.
7.
You're getting
Mr. Bean. Okay.
You gotta trust the process, you know.
No, yeah.
Yeah. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Ooh, 2.
Okay.
Is he like a quick?
I think
like
he's got a
cameo?
pretty small role in that movie. if I
It's not
recall.
like super small. He plays like a henchman of
Does he?
someone.
Okay.
He's like chasing Ray Fiennes throughout the movie.
Okay. Yeah. The number 7 is Nosferatu.
I'll say 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you're already regretting some of these calls. I know I would be.
Nosferatu at 3.
Actually, I would.
Number 8 here, Mississippi Burning. I don't believe you've seen that movie.
That's gonna be an 8.
We watched the first 30 minutes of that in history class.
Okay, so by default then,
You leave the biggest banger for last.
by default, Riley's favorite Willem Dafoe movie is Nymphomaniac Volume 2. You thought I was only going to have one Lars von Trier movie on there. I was waiting for that to be number 8.
Yeah.
Mississippi Burning, I've heard that's like probably
Nymphomaniac, that means they're like, they really want to be virgins, right?
No. So you went, excuse me, Nymphomaniac Volume 2, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Nosferatu, Spider-Man, Finding Nemo, The Lighthouse, Mr. Bean's Holiday, Mississippi Burning, Antichrist. That is a wild list.
I was hoping No Way Home would be in there, so I was really saving.
I only got room for one Spider-Man movie, and you put it at number 4.
I would honestly, Spider-Man might be number 1 or 2, and then Grand Budapest Hotel. I'm happy with that. Nosferatu 3, Finding Nemo would be next. Then The Lighthouse, Mr. Bean's, Mississippi Burning.
Lighthouse is still below Finding Nemo. That is like he lost himself in that.
You still kept Mississippi Burning that low.
Are we talking about performances or movies that I like?
I think it's
yes.
I mean, it's up to you.
However you judge it.
I was judging it of just the movies in general, how I liked them.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
fair enough.
if we watched Mississippi Burning, we would all really like that.
If we're talking about performances,
Gene Hackman is in that movie.
I like Gene Hackman. If we were talking about performances, I would say The Lighthouse would be number 1.
Then again, he maybe has a really good performance in Antichrist and Nymphomaniac Volume 2.
I don't know.
You might be right. Okay, so that was Riley's first list. So Josiah's first list is feel-good movies.
Oh, let's go.
Feel-good movies. 9.
Antichrist.
Yeah, Nymphomaniac Volume 2. Did we get the list mixed up? Huh? The first movie is Paddington. The first one.
The first one, I feel like this is going to be a pretty stacked list. So I'm going to put the first Paddington at 7.
Ooh.
You don't know that.
I don't. Yeah, that's true. I guess you could totally be throwing.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
The next one is The Polar Express.
Is that I feel like Little Billy. It's a feel sad movie when I'm watching him, and
he gets his Christmas at the end of the
true.
movie. Of course it's a feel good movie.
Trust me. Yeah, I was going to say the elves feel bad. I still want. I'm going to make the same mistake you made. It's like I want to hold out that there's some better ones on this list. I'm going to put it at 5.
5. Okay.
Over Paddington?
2. Over
Well,
Paddington.
I thought
Paddington's fate has been decided for it.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, Thelma.
Thelma's a great movie. Thelma, and well, okay.
Still recording? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Thelma is a feel good movie, but it's like feel good in a very like existential, like reflecting on death and like your time coming and all that. So it's a little solemn, but it is still very feel good, and it's just like a good like family and good like grandma and grandson.
Yes.
Yeah. 3.
So Thelma's going into number 3.
Everyone should go watch Thelma.
Thelma's great.
I don't think you would like it. Well, I don't think you would like it as much as no, and I like it.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Is that a feel good movie?
Do you love her? Then go after her.
I think feel good movie is a kind of a
grip it and rip it.
yeah. I think it depends on who's writing the movies, and to me, I think 10 Things I Hate About You is pretty feel good, and Riley would agree.
I really like that scene where he's like, "Do you love her? Then go after her, or do you like her?"
I don't even remember what I gave it. Did I give it 4 stars? I think I maybe gave it 3.5.
I can tell you.
I'm holding out hope that you're not throwing too many curveballs on this list.
You don't know.
I don't know. So I'm gonna put 10 Things I Hate About You at.
You give it 3.5.
I give it 3.5. I'm gonna put it at 8.
Okay.
I hope that's not a mistake.
Maybe not. 50-50. And again, does that feel good? I've seen it one time, and that was a long time ago, and I think that it is feel good, but there's also a lot of emotions in that movie. And Josiah talks about that. You used to talk about the movie a lot.
I did. I really love that movie when I've seen it twice. Yeah, but it's interesting because like it's almost feel good because it's also sad. Like you feel the parts that the reason why you feel good about it is because the sad events drive the characters towards Seth Rogen's character, just being that friend.
Hey,
and,
I'm just that friend.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character towards like facing his situation and everything. So I think it's through the trials that those virtues emerge.
Put more thought into it than I did.
Yeah, I'm putting that at number 2.
Number 2.
Wow.
That's probably a good spot. The next movie, Miss Congeniality.
He's right behind me, isn't he? We're gonna put that at 9.
Okay. Number 9.
You don't have any thoughtful thoughts on
Miss Congeniality.
Congeniality?
I watched that back in 2019, literally because I was on Amazon Prime and it said leaving in 2 days, and I got
FOMO?
Miss Congeniality. Yeah,
Like, well,
it was in
I
2019.
gotta clear my schedule.
It was 2019 when we were watching. I mean, we were literally watching 20 movies a month. We were watching so many
I
movies
thought
when we
you-
first created Letterboxd, and that was like, I was like,
I thought you watched Miss Congeniality when for our December movie challenge of 2023, and Kenzie made you watch it.
did you watch it then?
No, I
didn't watch it.
Oh.
She gave all of us a Sandra
I watched.
Bullock movie. I got the proposal.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I got the proposal.
I watched while you were sleeping, and then last year you watched Mrs. Doubtfire. You watched Mary Poppins,
Yeah.
and I watched. I don't remember.
You watched Miss Congeniality?
No, I've never seen Miss Congeniality.
Are you
Anyway,
sure?
The Princess Bride.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I left number 1 spot open because number 1 is Princess Bride.
Okay, Princess Bride is number 1.
What'd you say to some people that might hate that movie?
I would say, congrats. You're different. I would say,
You would say, prepare to die.
yeah, you come
You gonna kill me? Were you actually gonna prepare to say something?
Princess Bride is just classic.
It was
fairy
a
tale.
former Letterboxd top 4 for you.
Yeah. Still top 10. Just so, yeah, fun characters, fun adventure, fun settings, humorous.
The action where big old Andre the Giant's like,
and
Inconceivable.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a very quotable.
Plato, Aristotle, Socrates.
Moron. Very fun movie.
As you wish.
Big Fish. My favorite Tim Burton movie, I think. I want to watch it again. I like Ewan McGregor in it. And I like the ending a lot.
He's a standout. Yeah, the ending.
That movie is also, I mean, the Princess Bride is very much like a fairy tale movie. I think Big Fish is a fairy tale sort of movie.
Yeah, I would say
And
so.
I like it a lot.
I would say, but it also is with Thelma and 50/50. They're like, it's kind of his face. Mortality is a central theme of that movie.
Yeah, because
Or
like
aging,
a guy reflecting on
come to terms with his
on
relationship.
Death's door.
Yeah, which I am all about. I will put that at I'll put it at 4.
Okay.
Frankie Weenie's my favorite Tim Burton movie.
What did you say?
Yes.
Frankie Weenie.
And so that means
I thought you said Frankie Muniz.
so by default, your number 6 feel good movie is Paddington 2.
Ooh.
Oh, it's still above Paddington, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, but if going based off your Letterboxd score, you gave Paddington 2 4.5, and Princess Bride's 5, Thelma's 4.5, but I think everything else is 4 or lower.
Yeah, let's see. Princess Bride top 50/50, Thelma, Big Fish. I would move Paddington 2 up to maybe 3 or 4, just with recency bias. I wouldn't want to put it too high up. But everything else, Miss Congeniality, I would put Polar Express probably at 7. I think it's a pretty solid list.
10 Things I Hate About You is still number 8 then, huh?
I mean, I just watch it by myself in my bedroom from my laptop with the lights turned off.
No. Yeah,
So it's like
I would rewatch that. That I was surprised that I gave that a 4.5 star.
Yeah.
movie. It made me feel good.
Did you just like look at your my letterbox, and just pull movies that look like feel good movies?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
Riley, your next Blind Rag Gig.
I'm excited.
Movies with talking animals.
Okay.
We got 9 here. The first movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. No!
Give me my cookies.
Yeah, give me my cookies.
Uh,
Stupid classic. The main villain kills
I'm doing 8.
himself. You're getting that 8. Oh, actually, well, no, that's an appropriate spot for it.
You say the main villain kills himself?
That character, Draco Malfoy, whatever his name is, he dies by the water hoses goes everywhere, and then he has the taser to tase the monkeys, but then he accidentally tases himself, and because he's covered in water, he burns. And
there's some good moments in that movie, but overall, it's not the best Planet of the Apes movie.
I'm John Lithgow. Where am I at right now?
No.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, much better. Ratatouille.
Let's face it.
Right? Yeah. And that's all we'll ever do.
I actually watched some of this on Thursday, and
oh really?
At school, and I'm like, I like this movie.
You rated it on
some
Letterboxd.
people like Ratatouille is their favorite.
I haven't
Pixar
seen
movie.
it in a while. I'm gonna say 3.
3
Wow.
for Ratatouille. Yeah. Well, we can't change who we are, and who we are.
Anyone can cook.
Is that what you say when you are in the kitchen?
Yeah.
You put your little hat on. All right, little chef, let's get to work.
On your shoulders.
The third entry is
You're top heavy. Whoa.
Whoa. The Wild Robot.
Oh crap!
What if I have to tell you something and you're not there? Wow, that's a good line.
I could use a boost.
I'm gonna say 4.
Are you sure? The Wild Robot. We talked.
What Ratatouille's really good. I'm not saying it's bad.
I gotta say, Riley, I'm
I
surprised
am
with you.
disappointed.
You could have put it at 1 or 2, but you chose 4.
I don't know what's next.
The next one, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's 9.
Let's go.
That's 9. Didn't really have to think about that one.
Nope.
We watched Alvin and the Chipmunks a lot growing up.
Actually, that's funny because this week someone suggested we watch that in our room. I'm like, no,
That's a Christmas movie.
we're not watching that.
That was the first movie I ever saw twice in theaters. Yeah. What?
And just imagine you're like, back for seconds.
Let's go, Alvin
Yeah,
Simon Theodore.
Alvin Simon Theodore.
The ticket person at a movie theater is like, for what like tickets please for what movie? And you're like, are you dumb?
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Chipwrecked.
Rango.
7.
Rango's a good movie.
Nah.
Rango's a good, good but not great.
Rango's a good movie. Nah. The Jungle Book live action, Jon Favreau.
6.
Dude. Yeah.
Wishing you put Wild Robot higher up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats and Dogs.
5.
You are okay. Cats and Dogs goes at number 5. Something, no line for the Chili Dogs. Jeff Goldblum's one of his greatest performances. Sonic the Hedgehog.
2.
It's good. The first one is great. It's a fun movie.
Have you seen it?
I love the line where something about milk, and he's like, "Thank you for rubbing that in my adopted face."
Oh yeah, my orphan. Something
Yeah.
about being breastfed. It's
Yeah.
like, thanks for rubbing that in my orphan face.
Yeah.
Well, Riley, I think you're going to be pretty happy that you left slot number 1 open because it's Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters on the Loose!
Let's go. Hey, right. To museums.
Museums.
You're gonna make me sound like cool sucks.
So you got Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, Sonic the Hedgehog, Ratatouille, The Wild Robot at number 4, Cats and Dogs, The Jungle Book live action, Rango, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I would put the Wild Robot at 2 or 1. I really thought
You could have.
I really thought you were gonna give me a Guardians of the Galaxy in there.
Oh shoot, that wasn't even on my radar.
That's what in my head as soon as we started this list was Guardians of the Galaxy.
You can't
hang. You can't hang, man. Okay. Josiah, movies that we owned on DVD/VHS growing up.
Oh, very good.
The first entry, Cheaper by the Dozen.
And that's low. And you know why? The scene where
They vomit on
they
each other?
vomit like on each other.
Is that puke?
Yeah, one of them pukes, and then the other one sees the puke and pukes more.
Well, he
and-
like slips in the puke.
Yeah, that's so nasty.
That was nasty growing up, but because Kenzie and I watched this, I think at one point, I don't know if I logged it or not because I was like half watching, and that scene was funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I trust you, but since I haven't rewatched, I'm gonna put that at 8. I mean, Not
Okay.
not to overestimate.
I think you.
I mean,
You know, it's easy for me to speak because I'm on the other side of this.
Yeah, you're not blind ranking, so
you're just ranking.
Yeah, I'm kind of like God in this situation, and you guys are like my little puppets.
dance for me, puppets, dance.
The next one is a movie that we've certainly never talked about on the podcast before. Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
That the first person to remind me of that movie in 10 years, our mom, when we were doing Last Man Standing, Natalie Portman, back episode 15 maybe, and mom came home from the YMCA where she was listening to our podcast, and she was like, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. That's a Natalie Portman
That movie, it's like, it's strange that it exists.
Yeah, I don't remember
That
there being
movie
much
is
of a plot. It was very like whimsy heavy, but there was not much.
Dustin
else to it.
Hoffman dies. Natalie Portman's
Spoilers.
there. Jason Bateman is there. It's weird that they had these like A-list actors in this movie that literally time, I feel like, has forgotten.
We'll put it at 6.
6. Robots.
Robots
We had this one on
is a
VHS.
fun movie. Nothing quite special, but I remember Robin Williams' character Fender is very funny. Laugh out loud funny still. I'm going to put it at, it's still hard to say, put it at 4.
4. Night at the Museum.
Such a good movie.
How exciting.
That's the third one. Put it at
1.
2.
2. That's probably a pretty good spot for it, I'd say. Number, whatever this number is, 5. Fat Albert.
I made Riley and Lucas watch that against their will
Yeah.
a few years ago. It was great. That was so nostalgic for me, and you guys were like, we just put it on for the meme, and then we just kept watching it, and I was just like vibing. I'll put that at 5. I mean,
5.
it's good, but
Fat Albert.
I like to
at
think there
number
were better
5.
options out there still. Keenan Thompson, great casting.
The Pacifier.
I like that movie.
We talked about this. That wasn't that long ago
was
that
in
we
the
did the
childhood.
whole. We did
Yeah.
the Peter Pan dance.
When you're hanging.
Yeah. Man, Pacifier, fun movie. Don't have super strong emotional connection to it, but it's either going to be a 3 or a 7.
I have a big emotional connection to that movie.
You do.
R.I.P. Susie.
I hope I'm not making a mistake here. I'm going to put it at 3.
Okay. Put that at 3. Then the next one is perhaps one of the best superhero movies growing up. Tim Allen himself. Zoom.
Academy for Superheroes.
It's a secret electrical panel.
I think I remember loving that movie because the superheroes were kids and being like, there's a chance. You mean I can
and
be
then in
something
like
more?
the audition scene,
Yeah.
the one guy's like, "Here's my superpower."
That's got a 9.
Cedric.
Chevy Chase is in
I just
it.
remember the joke where he's like running really fast and then he trips. And so it's just like watching him like as he's like stumbling across.
Mm-hmm.
And they go.
I remember
through
that being hilarious.
The drive-through and there's like spaceship thing.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then there's
Weird.
one where they're in the spaceship thing and they're out in like the middle of nowhere and there's just a cow and the kid is like, "Ooh, burgers!" And they're like, "Put the cow back." He's just like the one note fat kid stereotype.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes back in action.
Number 1, like I bought that on DVD to rewatch at some point. It's going to get rewatched. I bet you that holds up great.
Oh, I don't doubt that it holds up. And then the last one, home is just over those mountains. Homeward bound.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's Shadow.
that would not hold up too well.
No, probably not.
That would. I mean, it'd be
Michael
better
J.
than
Fox, Sally Field.
That would be a 7, I guess.
You have no choice.
I think I did all right again. Let's.
Looney Tunes back in action. Night at the Museum. The Pacifier. Robots.
I would swap Robots and Pacifier.
Fat Albert.
Mr.
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
I would swap Homeward Bound and Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Homeward Bound. Cheaper by the dozen. Zoom.
Yeah, that's pretty all right.
All right. That was fun. But we got one last list. It's a bonus list. So you guys are going to have to work together.
Oh.
bonus list.
Hey, museums.
Night at museum.
These are, you guys are going to be ranking road snacks.
Road snacks.
Okay.
The first one here, Flamin' Hot Munchies.
For a road trip specifically, that's like, you don't want to put that at a 1, so I'll put it at a 2.
3.
2.
Okay.
2,
Backbone, Riley. Backbone.
You got a bad back.
pepperoni pizza combos. That's my
That's like,
go-to.
That's mid. That's like 5.
I'm agree. I agree, Fab.
And because I am God and you are my puppets, we're going to put that at number 1. You said number 5?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
That's crazy. Number 3, hard-boiled eggs.
9.
9?
Yeah.
Make the
Have
whole
you
car
ever had
smell.
a hard-boiled egg?
I don't think so.
They're delicious.
I'm sure
It's
they
like
are.
a great
On a
snack.
road trip?
Yeah, I was going
If
to
you
say.
got a little cooler
Yeah, but
with some ice.
If you want the
that-
cheaper buy of the dozen scene, give me a hard-boiled egg on a road trip.
you just get puked. Well, and your cooler, you can have the hard-boiled eggs, and then right next to it, you would have some grapes.
I was going to say grapes are great to keep in the cooler. I would put
Okay.
those at 4.
Wait, you're asking us about grapes?
Grapes is the next entry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4. Good.
4. Okay. The next one, wasabi peas. That's
It's like, ooh.
But on a road trip, you're gonna want water because they're spicy, you know, and then you're gonna have to
You're
pee
like-
because you're drinking a bunch of
You're like
liquids.
dehydrating yourself on the road trip?
But I'm saying because they're spicy, you're gonna have to.
I just
drink a
don't
lot.
like them.
So I would say 8.
Oh, yeah, that's what I would put
Okay.
them at. Those snacks were for you. You're the one who likes wasabi peas.
But on a road trip,
that was
though, you get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
that was written
No,
specifically
I know, but
for
I'm-
you.
I thought Noah would probably expect that you would
But
put them higher.
I think
or-
my reason for it is still I like the snack, but for a road trip,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to drink a lot of liquids because it's spicy.
Okay, well,
and then you have to pull over.
It's kind of assumed that you have like an energy drink with you, or like a Coke Zero.
Do you understand how mad my dad gets if I have to use the bathroom 24/7?
Kind of like how I get mad at you when
Yes.
you have to pause the movie.
Yes.
I can see it right now
Okay.
in my mind's eye.
That makes you pull over and do push-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is beef jerky.
3.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like, I don't know, that's an old reliable. It doesn't get me super pumped, but it's like, yeah, it's always nice.
Oatmeal cream pies.
You want to say 1?
I do, but
I got
I'm
7.
I'm
1,
good
6,
at
and 7.
compromise. At least 1 or 6.
Oh, it's 6
Okay.
6.
because oatmeal cream pies are never bad. They're just never top tier.
That's
I
fine.
guess we just really got to hope.
Dark chocolate covered almonds.
1.
Do it.
1.
Dark chocolate covered almonds. That
Very
sounds
good.
divine, and they're healthy for you. 'cause
And then
they
the
are
last
almonds.
one here, by number 7 by default, mustard.
No.
Just from the packet.
Just from the bottle.
That would be 9 if we're
Yeah.
being-
Well, yeah.
I was kind of
not a snack.
I was hoping it would have ended up higher up on the list. Dark chocolate covered almonds, flaming hot munchies, beef jerky, grapes, pepperoni pizza combos, oatmeal cream pies, mustard, wasabi peas, hard-boiled eggs.
Mustard. Is that actually what he says?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I couldn't tell what he said. I didn't know if people just memed that he said mustard.
He says mustard.
What? Let's not tell him.
Yeah. Nope.
All right. So I'm going to try to set the stage here. Imagine like you hear like horses like on the battlefield and steel clashing against steel and screams, the sounds of death. The fantastical plains of Good Chillandia are in ruins. War, famine, disease, death. The Goblin King and his devilish army are at the gates, ready to burn the city to the ground, and kingdom morale is at an all-time low. 3 houses have risen to face these mortal threats head on. House Noah, House Josiah, and House Riley. Each house is led by a king, queen, a knight, a wizard, a jester, and a dragon, all of movie origin. They're all from movies, and they're not from fantasy movies. So we have each assembled our kingdom, our royal flush of characters who we see as the he's bonus. Why you gotta write it down? You're like
just
the
concerned.
No, you're like the security guard leaning into bush, telling him that the Pentagon has been bombed. We have each selected a king, queen, knight, wizard, jester, and dragon of our kingdoms. People who to rise up against these threats. And they're all characters from movies, not from fantasy movies, though. No Lord of the Rings, no Narnia, no Game of Thrones, no high fantasy. I'll start.
No, The Dark Tower.
No, The Way of Kings. No,
That's not
The
a movie.
Golden Compass.
That is a movie.
So we'll start with the king, and I'll start. So
And then I'll go after him.
I like that. So when I think of king, I think who like the best kings. The one true king, King Jesus. And I think Jesus came in meekness. Is Jesus your answer?
No.
Okay. Is Jesus your answer? Okay, you guys are both making faces. I don't know, but I think of like Aslan.
We just think that you like look funny and smell.
But yeah, someone who is powerful, but just characteristically just humble and gentle. Kind of like I think of Aslan, who is not a viable answer here, but who is Christopher Reeves Superman.
Oh, I thought your character was Jesus. I was like, your king was Jesus. I was like, what? Okay.
From Passion of the Christ. You already did that with Judas Iscariot. No, but Superman, and Noah made a face.
No, I just think that's a good pick.
Okay. Just I don't know, someone who has all the power in the world, but is also just someone who like you trust and you look up to.
He uses his powers to look at women's underwear.
Well, he was checking her for his lung cancer. I would submit to the King Christopher Reeves authority.
Okay, I think that's a valid pick. My king, I think a king has to be able to make sacrifices, do what's best for his kingdom, for his people, for the future of his people. Even if that acts against personal interests, he does what needs to be done, and he sticks to his guns. He's a man of character, and that's Cooper from Interstellar.
I thought of Cooper. Yep, love that.
He is a man of morals, and he's capable of making sacrifice. He does not want to be the one who leads, but he will be the one who leads
Because he loves his family.
because he loves his family,
And he wants to give them a better future.
and he wants to give them a better future.
And my name is Noah and I suck.
When I think of a king, I think of a guy with a nice beard, I also think a guy who actually has been in a position
Is Santa Claus your king?
who also has been in a position as a leader to his people, and who is a good father and just loves his son no matter what he decides to do in the future, and that's Duke.
That's what I was thinking for you. Yep. That's great.
He got a good beard.
Yeah,
That's like kind of a cheating answer because he is technically a king, isn't he?
I mean,
He's
a Duke. So.
So shut up.
That's a good answer. Haven't seen Dune Part 1 in a long time, so don't remember too much.
He's really good.
He's very fatherly.
I'll keep going. But Duke, the Emperor, was so afraid of him. He had to betray them because he's so afraid of what Duke is doing, how he's leading his people in the House of Atreides, that he has to betray him.
Yeah.
So that shows you how good of a leader he is.
Yeah, I feel it. All right, you got Queen.
My queen is someone who
My queen. Rose, my queen.
who's not afraid to take charge, who's not afraid to lay her life for the people she cares about, to lead her people away from a tyranny, and that's Furiosa.
Do you have any more on that?
Queen,
Like adult Furiosa?
yeah. Adult Furiosa, she knows how to take charge. She knows what's the right thing to do, and she's not afraid to speak her mind. I think a queen needs to be able to speak her mind and lead with truth.
Mm-hmm. That's a good pick.
I think my queen, when I think of queen, you need the queen to be an icon for the people. And so I chose a queen who is certainly an icon, but she is more than just her looks because she got into Harvard Law School like it wasn't even that hard. So I chose Elle Wood from Legally Blonde.
She's the one.
I think she is an incredibly smart person while also she has her own morals, while being an icon for the people. She rallies the people, like co-workers and stuff.
What do you mean she has her own morals? That sounds untrustworthy.
Not own morals, but like she has strong morals.
Okay.
In the movie, she has strong morals. And
that's what I said the first
time. I think if you guys had actually took the time to watch that movie, you would agree with me.
Probably. For my queen is a woman who is reliable, is trustworthy, and who sticks to her guns under the greatest known pressure one could possibly face, the weight of the world on her shoulders. And my description will be limited for sake of spoilers, but it is Madam President Erica Sloan from Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Angela Bassett's character. She becomes president. At the start of the movie, she's president, so you don't really...
Now I guess I don't have to watch the movie.
Yeah, but she's great. I mean, Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
she is
the queen in Black Panther, isn't she?
Yeah, you could have just taken her.
I was thinking about that, but Mission Impossible is more on my mind. But I love the way her character handles the situation that she's put in, and I would trust her with power. All right, moving on to the knight, the lead knight. I don't know how else you would phrase that.
The Hand of the King.
That sounds great.
That's Game of Thrones
I
thing.
got one, and I wonder if you guys have this pick. A man who can lead a team, who can lead his army, who has seen war, and who does not know Italian is Lieutenant Aldo Rain.
Aldo the Apache.
Aldo the Apache, yeah.
Averici.
Just strong, just scary man, but committed to his morals or what he has deemed important.
Yeah.
Fighting, dying.
So he's got his own morals.
Yeah. But just real don't mess with him kind of type.
Well, my knight is, in fact, a knight of the Round Table because I chose Harry Hart, a.k.a. Galahad.
Is that...
That's Colin Firth from Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Good pick.
He is a secret agent. He's a seasoned secret agent. He survives the church scene, which is one of the best fight scenes.
Doesn't survive the...
He doesn't survive getting betrayed by... Well, not really betrayed, but just getting shot in the head. He sure doesn't survive that. But he is committed to the cause. He's got his own set of morals. But he is loyal to the organization, aka the house.
My knight, he's also seen war. He's also a knight. He's a Jedi Knight. Hello there. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That was what I was going to pick. Like he was originally. I had him for my knight. So
Obi-Wan Kenobi, he is just... he's reliable. Like if you need him to do something, he's there to do the job.
What about his morals?
This guy's on morals.
That was the Jedi code.
People say he's like the Tom Brady in the football world because he just
he doesn't know when to retire.
Yeah,
because he deflates the footballs.
So he's beaten Darth Vader and Skywalker twice.
No, they were at regulation pressure. That's a good pick.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. My wizard. You can go many ways with this. You know, an actual wizard, a computer wizard. You know,
is that the way that you went?
There's a lot of directions you can go with this. Tech wizard. I'm telling you.
So I went with the latter, and I went with Ethan's right-hand man, Luther.
Ethan. For those we never meet.
So you always can count on Luther to crack the code. You can count on him to be there. He's in all 9 Mission Impossible movies, so
and that makes him a wizard.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Okay. Well, my wizard, I think a wizard ought to be the smartest guy in the room. I think you ought to be willing to cross certain boundaries for the sake of the kingdom. Maybe it's also for personal gain, but the kingdom benefits nonetheless. And so the smartest guy in the room is Steve Jobs, played by Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of
he is
kind
able
of a
to
jerk, kind of a mean.
I think a polite wizard's not going to get as far as a jerk wizard. I think a wizard's got to be able to talk around other people. He's
got to be able to cast spells, cast a word of protection on the kingdom.
He can cast the Macintosh 2.0 or whatever.
He's just gonna question everything the king and queen do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Can he submit to who's your king?
To Cooper from Interstellar.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, because everyone thinks he's a cool guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Riley chose Luther Stickle.
He's a computer wizard.
Yeah. How about we get our actual
Without him, they would have won.
Without my guy, you wouldn't have that phone right there.
For my wizard, someone who actually employs the mystical arts and who is cool and didn't get enough time in the limelight, Qui-Gon Jinn. I was going to go with Obi-Wan for my knight, but I didn't want to do two Star Wars characters. Qui-Gon is my wizard. Don't people complain about him because he doesn't submit to the Jedi Council, or he's
something
a bit
about
of
him. I don't remember
bit of a
specifics
mercenary or something. I don't know.
He also dies.
My character doesn't die.
Luther doesn't die.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got cancer. Ooh.
Anyway, Qui-Gon Jinn is wise. He's seen years. He passes on his wisdom to the next generation.
Is he going to is the kingdom going to be able to rally behind him?
No, they don't have to. He's not a leader.
Yeah.
That's the king.
That's the
The
king.
wizard has to submit to the king.
What does he do for his kingdom?
And Steve Jobs not submit.
What are you? Yeah.
He's pushing innovation. That was a good
He's
answer.
pushing Chinese sweatshops. That's messed up.
Yeah.
China doesn't
Shame.
exist in this alternate fantasy universe.
So last for Dragon, and we didn't really
Jester.
Oh, Jester. Yeah. Yep. Jester.
Hey, I got my jester right here.
I got a character who I think brings the laughs, brings the comedic relief, but can still read the room and is sensible to what's being spoken of, and that is Spider-Ham from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It'll fit inside your pocket.
Wait, what? My hands are wet because I just washed them. No other reason. Yeah, I just think he's a quirky little character, and he works as part of a team. He's a fun little guy.
Well, for my jester, he is always the joke, the butt of the joke, not for lack of trying. He's got plenty of skill under his belt and wit, but it all comes down to how he chooses to use himself, and most of the time he ends up just being laughed at and not taken seriously, and that's Captain Jack Sparrow. Yar, shiver me timbers.
That's fair.
So I think having him on the team, he would be useful, but also kind of goofy.
But he's doesn't try to be goofy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Don't you think a jester tries to be goofy?
Mm-hmm.
I think a king would employ a jester to get his laughs, and he does not care how it happens.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I have a guy who's hilarious.
Riley Hughes.
Riley John.
You're looking at.
He always has quick whips. He always can bring laughs to a team, and that's what you need as a jester, and that's Sokka.
No, that's good. That's a good pick.
I'm going to go to the vacation to the library.
To the library.
Beat that.
I already did.
Next is Dragon.
Yep. Last but not least, dragon.
So since we can't do like a fantasy dragon, I had to use my noggin, And you said earlier I'm a smart cookie.
I didn't say you
Really
were a
took
smart
that to
cookie. I said you were smart in that specific instance.
You're smart and you eat a lot of cookies.
I do get a lot of I was thinking of something, someone you can ride, someone that can fly, that also can like kind of have some fire in his like jetpacks too, and that's Baymax from Big Hero 6.
Oh, that's a great pick.
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
I should have picked the dragon lady.
You dirty birdie.
Yeah. Oh, you googly woolly.
Anything else there?
What else to say about Baymax? He can heal you. He knows what to do. Are you satisfied with today's interaction? And you would say, yes, I am satisfied, Baymax. Thank you. And he would sacrifice himself to save the day. So
Yeah, that's good. See, well, when we were thinking of dragon, I didn't necessarily think of a team member dragon because dragon's more antagonistic.
Yeah, I didn't specify.
And so for my dragon, I chose a beast of a wild beast, someone who is a real terror to the town, and he's gonna eat all of your vegetables. Because I chose Wallace in were-rabbit form.
I want to be a rabbit.
He is a real nuisance to the little British town, and he would probably be a real pain in the neck to the people of my house. Wouldn't probably kill anybody, but he would be in everyone's gardens.
True. For myself, I went with the first dragon that came to mind, who is technically not a dragon type. He's flying in fire. It is Charizard.
Boo.
What?
I mean, I don't know. I was thinking
He's in Detective Pikachu.
yeah, and all the Pokemon in that movie are really ugly.
Shut up, ugly. Charizard. Everyone wants Charizard. Classic.
People don't like Pokemon know Charizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom probably knows Charizard.
it's a good pick.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our houses, and as a fun little bonus, this is not necessarily to contribute to our team, but just in the world that we're creating.
Mine does.
In a fantasy world, you always got in the town square. You got the man in the stocks. Man's got
always look on the bright side of life.
Oh, I thought of this so wrong. Shoot.
What did you think?
I thought the stocks, you mean like they're stocking the ammunition, stocking the guns, the weapons, and all this stuff.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Like you got
What did you pick then?
Mary Poppins.
What?
Because she has the bag.
Yeah, whatever you needed, you got it.
I think Riley's disqualified.
I don't know what to say.
Riley's like, woo.
Riley Hughes, yeah, I've done it again.
Well, I know you didn't have the same pick as me then. Because
Man
I sure as
in
heck
stocks. No, like in Hunchback of Notre Dame, there's like
I haven't seen that movie.
Life of Brian is what I was just saying.
Yeah. They're like being tortured, but they're just
They're put on public humiliation in the town square.
Yeah.
I can think of someone.
No. You're
No,
fine. You're Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins is
No,
Who's your pick?
my pick is a guy who looks like he would fit right in a town square stocks. And unfortunately, I don't want to laugh about him because it's a very serious movie, but this guy takes a beating. It's Alex Jones from Prisoners.
It's not Alex Jones from InfoWars.
They're the freaking frogs gray. No, Alex Jones from Prisoners. Paul Dano. Yeah.
It brings down the vibe.
I didn't want to pick him. I had to pick him. He looks like he would end up in the stocks.
See, the stock man in the stocks, I kind of threw that out there for like comedic relief.
Oh, there's nothing funny about a man in stocks.
Well, there's nothing funny about Mary Poppins in stocks either. Seems that I'm the one who misread the vibe at this point.
Yeah, I'd say so. Who'd you pick?
I didn't pick a single character as much as a line of characters. I just picked Tim Robinson I just feel like his character just. I just feel like his character just kind of being like in the background as everything else is going on. Just in
the popcorn pop.
Yeah, I was going to say in the SNL skit where like he's with Kevin Hart and Kevin Hart is like firing him from a job and Tim Robinson's like, well, that's at the popcorn pops. He just kind of like has accepted his fate in the stocks. I thought that would be funny.
Please let me go. Please let me go. I'm trying to do something. Please let me go.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Man, poor Mary Poppins. She didn't deserve that.
That's messed up actually, because all she did was give you a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, and yeah. So anyway, so for my king, Superman, Christopher Reeves; Queen, Erica Sloane, Madam President from Mission Impossible: Thunder Reckoning; Knight, Lieutenant Aldo Rain from Inglourious Bastards; Wizard, Qui-Gon Jinn, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace; Jester, Spider-Ham from Spider-Man Across Into the Spider-Verse; Dragon, Charizard, Pokemon; and the Man in Socks, Tim Robinson. Any character from I Think You Should Leave.
Okay, for my king, I had Cooper from Interstellar. My queen, I had Elle Wood from Legally Blonde. For my knight, I had Harry Hart, aka Galahad from Kingsman: The Secret Service. For my wizard, I had Steve Jobs from Steve Jobs. That's a good pick. I don't want anyone to say otherwise. For my jester, I had Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. My dragon is Wallace in Were-Rabbit form from Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit. For my man in stocks, it's poor Alex Jones from Prisoners.
For my king, I had Duke Leto Atreides. For my queen, I had Furiosa. For my knight, I had Obi-Wan Kenobi. For my wizard, I had Luther Stickle. For my jester, I had Sokka. For my dragon, I had Baymax from Big Hero 6. And my man in stocks.
My woman in stocks.
Woman in stocks. Mary Poppins.
God save her.
Oh, man.
Okay, you can't make this stuff up. You can't write this.
It's stranger than fiction.
All right.
It's time to end of episode trivia.
So Noah and I both have one win.
I have one win. Two wins. I have 2 wins.
I didn't ask about you. You're not playing today. It's Noah and I. I think Noah and I have one win each.
And I got 2.
Yeah.
I'm 2.
Noah's 2. Josiah's 1. End of episode trivia. First to 3 wins gets to choose a movie for the other 2 to watch. Noah has 1. Josiah has 1. The end of episode trivia today is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Question number 1. Tom Cruise stars in what thriller, which is based on a John Grisham novel and all? Noah.
The Firm.
That is correct.
And Josiah didn't even know that.
I didn't. I've not.
Sorry.
How's your wrist?
I've not heard of that movie. When did it come out?
The 90s.
Interesting.
Also stars Gene Hackman.
Would have said A Few Good Men.
Gene Hackman.
Question number 2. Tom Cruise received his first Oscar nomination for what film that's based on a true story? Josiah.
A Few Good Men?
That is incorrect. Noah.
Vanilla Sky.
That is incorrect.
Born on 4th of July.
That is correct.
Dang it.
What is that movie even about?
Like Vietnam War. Or like a Vietnam veteran.
I think he becomes an anti-war activist.
Yeah.
Question number 3. In what Mission Impossible film will you find Ethan Hunt and the gang traveling to Casablanca? Josiah.
Mission Impossible 2.
That is incorrect. Noah.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
That is incorrect. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
This is tough.
Question number 4. Tom Cruise makes a cameo in a 2002 satirical comedy playing what titular character? Noah.
Mike Myers. No,
That's incorrect. Josiah.
Austin Powers?
That's correct.
Michael Myers. He plays Austin Powers?
It's like a real quick cameo where he's Austin Powers.
He plays the famous.
I remember
in like a movie.
I think I remember seeing that in like a Watch Mojo video 10 years ago.
Interesting.
Tied 1-1. Question number 5. Tom Cruise was nominated for an Oscar in the movie Magnolia. What is the profession of Tom's character in that movie, where you would typically find them leading seminars? Josiah.
Professor?
That's incorrect. Noah.
He's like a motivational speaker.
That is correct.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if it's on IMDb or Letterboxd, but it's just him with like a microphone and he's kind of like doing that. So I just guessed.
Wow.
All right. Dang, that was 2-1. Two questions we both.
So next trivia is the last one.
Deciding.
Nice.
Bonus. Tom Cruise has worked with 8 Best Director Oscar winners. I want you to name 4 of them. Josiah.
Let's see here. Rob Reiner. Wait, he did.
That is incorrect.
I think A Few Good Men, but I was like, that didn't get Best Picture. I'm going to cut you off right there.
Noah.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
That is incorrect. Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, Barry Levinson, Oliver Stone, Ron Howard, Sidney Pollack, Steven Spielberg, and Robert Redford.
Wow.
That was a tough question.
I throw the heat.
That's for sure. For our trivia next week, which will let me make sure I'm doing this. Yep, trivia next week. Coen Brothers movies.
Nice.
Hi, you might have to study.
I've been meaning to find Oh Brother Where Art Thou on Blu-ray.
I really want to rewatch No Country for Old Men, but I want to find it on Blu-ray first.
And Inside Llewyn Davis, I want to watch that again.
I got that on Blu-ray.
I am determined to win this, so prepare.
I'm not gonna study.
Fair enough. Very cool.
Do you have a movie picked out?
Oh yeah.
Let me guess, it's 4 hours long.
You'll find out.
Riley said
Zack Snyder's Justice League, here we come.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
The Good Chill Hunting Podcast.
What was the highlight of your week?
Yeah.
Josiah's was my highlight of my week is this nap I'm about to take.
Yeah.
That's what Josiah sounds like in real life.
We appreciate
Josiah
you.
does a
Thank you
voice
so
on the
much.
podcast, but off camera, he's like, well, guys, I think that was a pretty good recording.
We all put in our best effort, and that's all that we
Me
can
and
do.
Riley are like,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.